Howdy.
Howdy. I was waiting on that last video.
I was waiting on you, girl. I
Hello,
like it. I
everybody.
like
Welcome
it.
to the Liberty Cowgirl Network. Sound off.
Welcome
How
in,
you doing,
everybody.
Cowgirl?
Good to see you. Good to see you, Cowgirl, Liberty, Cowgirl. Good to see you. We're excited for today. I'm excited. Got my homework to show off. I'm real excited.
we got a lot of news happening now.
Yeah.
We only have an hour, so we're going to just try and get to some brief things because I know we're trying to plan a Liberty Lounge with all the ladies to discuss all the things that are happening. But if anyone's been watching any show for the last 48 hours, you know what the most important thing to do right now. It's a call to action for the American people. If there's any time that we can do anything that takes little effort to save this country and to move this process along in the legal fashion, nothing can be more important than the Brunson case in the Supreme Court and what needs to be done to help move that forward. So with that having been said, we've all watched many broadcasts. I caught one myself last night. Liberty Warrior had on Lloyd Brunson. And I've seen him on various platforms, and this is a definite call to action to write these letters. So what I want to do is let's hear from Mr. 107 himself and play the video, and then we'll talk about it when we're done. And that's how we'll get started today, because that's the most important thing right now.
Okie dokie. And are you going to play it? I'm going to play it, right?
Yeah, what do I need?
It's going to come up and nope, it's going to come up in a second for you. And you'll have to approve and probably turn off our echo cancellation right now.
Okay.
Oh, I see. Let's see. Something is giving feedback. Ouch. Okay, I turned my echo off. We're going to need a 5x5, guys. Let us know if you can hear this, please.
Is there sound?
Nope.
Is there sound?
I don't hear it. Not on my end. I don't hear sound. So, and there's an echo.
Let me add in a special guest, Miss Stephanie Kerr's backstage. Let me bring her on. Welcome, Stephanie.
Girls, hi ladies. How are you today?
I'm great.
Oh, hanging in there, getting ready for
Thank you
family.
for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I think why don't I just stop this? Yeah, go ahead, honey.
What we're doing real quick, let me just bring anyone who's viewing and Stephanie up to speed. We're talking about the Brunson case, the call to action to send the letter into the Supreme Court with one sentence simply stating you support the case, and where they're calling on all podcasters and broadcasters to get out this message. So we're doing our part in getting the message out on our show this afternoon. And there's a video instructing people how to do this rather than us explaining it that we're playing real quick. That was put out by number 107. Hold on one moment. Add to the stream.
I sent my letter out already.
Awesome.
Ooh. And I thought I was going to be showing my letter in my hand for y'all and signing it and everything. Good job, one up, and I love it. It's a good competition. That's the kind we want right there. I already did it. What?
Awesome.
Yeah.
And
I did it a
welcome.
couple days ago. And I've got about 3,000 contacts in my email, and I forwarded it to everybody there. And I got about 600 or 700 replies back going, thank you. So
nice. Yeah. Good idea. Yeah, I'm going to upload the PDF onto standuphumboldt.com.news. We'll get it on blast for sure. We're getting our legs, you guys. And hi, Eric. Good to see you. Hi, Proud Army Mom, Jen, Camo, Joyful. Good to see you all. Good to see you all. Thank you for joining us. So are we going to try this video again?
Okay.
Because if not, I did drop it. Okay. You want me to try it again? Let's try it again. Let's see if we can hear it this time.
If not, we can play it without sound and instruct. But
okay. No, I'm not getting no sound, I don't think. No, I'm not getting no sound. No, they're not hearing it. We're hearing it, but there's no sound for our viewers for some reason. We're just having a little trouble there, but the video's in. Yes.
Okay, so
go
drop
ahead
the link
and post
and let
the link
everyone
in the
see.
private chat.
Okay.
And I can open it up and do a present from here.
If you want to try,
Awesome.
let me pull my present out here. Remove from stream. I put it in private for you. Go for it, girl. Try.
Okay,
yeah, that'd be great.
Hi,
because I thought I had
Jerry Lee, ER, Jen,
Eric. That's Eric. ER.
Camo.
All right, ladies, when you get it, let me know when to
Joyful.
hit the audio on it.
All right, she's going to give it a try for us. Stephanie in the house. Okay, let's see. It's warm.
Is it working?
Here's how we're going to change the world with 2 letters.
Yes.
Awesome.
The questions you can ask are, how do I write the 2 letters, one to the Supreme Court and one to the Brunson brothers? And why? We're writing 2 letters because the Supreme Court's probably not going to tell us how many letters they got. The Brunson brothers are. And so we're going to be able to track how many letters are actually getting to the Supreme Court. But we know with our own sources what's going on. So here's how you're going to do it. And by the way, kids, teenagers, look, you're going to inherit the world shortly. You're going to be left with consequences of what's going on. You need to write letters too. It doesn't have to be just a voting age person. Anybody living here in America or around the world that might be suffering from the effects of whatever's going to happen with this government needs to make their feelings known. So I want you to get 2 envelopes, 2 stamps, and 2 pieces of paper. And on each piece of paper, let's start with the letter itself. Write at the very top, attention to the 9 justices of the Supreme Court. Put a note expressing your support of Brunson, BRUNSON, versus Alma, ALMA, middle initial S, Adams, ADAMS, et al., which is EPAL, comma, number 22-380. Then sign your name and date it. You can write more information in your letter if you want to, concerning why you want this case looked at, but it really is that simple. The court may not even get time to read all the letters. The whole point is that we express our interest and they know what's going on. Now, there's a direct link to a letter that's already been pre-composed by Roland Brunson. And you can just go to the link, and if you have a copy machine printer, you can just print it right out. Maybe add a little PS at the bottom, a note at the bottom for your letter, and that can go right out in both of your letters. We want the Brunsons to have a copy of whatever you send. So either handwrite or make a photocopy of what you sent to the Supreme Court so they see what you sent. And when you're done writing your letter, put it in an envelope, and on the front of the envelope, write it to the Supreme Court of the United States, 1st Street Northeast, Washington, D.C., zip code 20543. Put your stamp on the envelope. Put your return address on the side of the envelope. With the second copy, put that in the second envelope and address it to Loy, L-O-Y, and Rolland, R-A-L-A-N-D, Brunson, 4287 South Harrison, Harrison Boulevard, apartment number 132, Ogden, Ogden, Utah, 84403 is the zip code. And put $1 inside this envelope, or more if you feel like it. But you know, $1 is gonna really add up quickly, and it helps the guys to know you really. Everybody should be doing that. Look, we all got $1. Get real. And then flip the envelope over, and on the back, put wherever you heard about this. If it's Hammer Time, if it's the PPN Network, if it's Nino,
If it's Liberty
or
Cowgirl Network,
any of the other,
If it's Liberty
put
Cowgirl
the host
Network.
and the state that you're from. That's for us on the back side. Don't put it on the front side of the envelope, it'll confuse the carrier, postal carrier. This is an urgent situation because this case is going to be decided whether it's going to move forward and the Supreme Court puts it on its docket or not at a conference they've called for January 6th, when all the justices decide whether to take the case or not. We just need 4 justices to take it, 5 to win. But this is very important. This is us voting again at a critical moment. It's an amazing moment. Okay, when you're done with your letters, consider helping a family member, a neighbor. Maybe you have a printer and somebody down the street doesn't, but they're a patriot. You got a copy machine, whatever it might be.
Send them the
Help out
link
some
to
other
this.
folks to get their letters out also. Why send a letter to the Brunson brothers? Why not just to the Supreme Court? Because we may not know or be told how many letters went to the Supreme Court. We will know and see how many letters went to the Brunson brothers. And by the way, putting that $1 in there, that means something. They spent $2 million of their own money to get to this point in time. We need to shoulder up. It shouldn't be just on a couple of people that feel the desire, need, understanding that there's a reason to do something. It shouldn't just be on them. It should be on all of us. So let's shoulder up, show them we care, we're thankful, and in the end, if we win, you want to be counted on the winning team. Get a piece of the pie here. Be part of owning your country. You know, the Brunson brothers didn't ask for this $1. It was my idea. I think it's a reasonable idea to help them out. You know, let's get in there and show them that we care. All right, and that we're backing them. And also for the Supreme Court, they're going to have to make some hard decisions. Let them know. Put some wind under their wings. The reason they're under attack is because of Roe versus Wade. Let's let them know they're a conservative court trying to set some things right that went kilter here in the U.S. Let's let them know what side they're on. Thanks, folks. Let's get this done.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Not a problem.
and there you have it.
There you have it. If you can't do the mailings or anything like that, drop the link in their email. All your friends, all your family, all your contacts, do a blanket email with the link down there to the video we just showed, and get it going, because this court, they're even though it is a conservative court, what happened in the summer of love of 2020, when all the people were out there burning cities down and stuff like that, there was a few cases,
Mostly peaceful.
Yeah, there was a few cases that did make it to the court, and because they did not want the public outrage and the public outcry against their decisions, they decided to either A, not take the case, or B, vote in a direction that was appeasing to the very people that were causing the situations. And what these
Yes.
letters do, is it not only does it show that people are paying attention to this case, it also shows the Supreme Court that they do have people standing behind them, and they do have people that are watching them, and they're going to have their backs if they when they make their decision. They don't have to be intimidated by the very people who are in this case or any other case.
Absolutely. I concur with you 100%. And, I just want to remind people why they filed, this case. And again, this is why we follow the generals and why we zone in on things. And why we're looking at the law of war manual and what the legalities are for the situation we're in. But Congress had a duty to investigate. They were told by over 100 Congress people that they were not comfortable certifying the big contest that happened in 2020. They brought those concerns forth. Congress had a duty to investigate and halt things for at least at a minimal a 10-day period. They failed to do so. And in doing so, they violated their oath to protect the American people from what was possibly and what we now know was foreign interference. They refused to do the basic action that was required uh, by the law, therefore creating a national security threat situation. And in this situation, and according to the law, I know we have pundits going back and forth and back and forth, but if you watch the show that Lloyd Brunson was on last night, LWN, everyone was tuned in for it for one reason and one reason only, to hear from him. We all know that, they're saying in the public that there'll be a decision by January 6th, whether they'll take this case or not. There are those that believe that this case has already been done. It was put on, and we reported that it was put on a shadow docket quite some time ago. I'm sure they're all under NDAs and cannot say such. And I concur with that because of the way that this happened and that Congress violated their oath in failing to protect the people from foreign interference in the big contest. Legally, the SCOTUS can act before that date at any given time and immediately because of the special status of us being under a national emergency threat. So just to remind people that that's huge, because I concur that this case has already been heard.
It's a derelict duty is what's going on there. And derelict duty is a blatant opposition to the oath that they took when they went into office. And this is huge. If this goes down, or it's already gone down, you're wondering why MSM is being very quiet about everything. So,
oh, you're absolutely right. You're not hearing any of this kind of news on the mainstream television. What you're hearing about is what everyone on the inner circles are calling the Twitter operations. Okay. They've got the whole country focused on all these Twitter drops. And personally, the reason why I'm not going to get caught up for hours at a time looking at Twitter drops, it's because it's information we're already aware of. It's just the proof of that information.
But
and
it's
again,
still fun. People love being in the
distraction. And we'll talk about what's going on while all these Twitter drops are happening and Twittergate is happening right now. But let's turn to General McInerney and, how he weighs in on a couple of things this week. And then on our Liberty Lounge, we'll catch up with some of the other ones. But because we have so much information today, let's just zone in on him and what he said.
Can I say one thing? I want to say one thing about the Brunson case. I just uploaded today on the Stand Up Humble BitChute channel the stream I did about that case was 4 weeks ago. I couldn't believe it. So if you want to see more about that case, I had a stream and I included the case that was just uploaded. I don't even know. A couple people sent it to me. So if you want to know more about it, yeah, you can find it. It was 4 weeks ago, and I just uploaded on BitChute today. So I'll try to drop that. But sorry to interrupt you, Liberty Cowgirl. I just wanted to mention that.
Oh, no, thank you. That's quite all right. You can interrupt me anytime.
Another thing, let me interject one thing here. If you really, really, really want to know how deep and how intense this case is, go look at the case itself. It's public. It's out there. Just go and look up the number. What is it? 222-20. Just look up the number, Supreme Court case number, Brunson versus, and read the case.
Brunson v. Alma, case number 22-380.
380. Go, people, go just Google that. It'll come up, and read to understand the depth of this case and just how detrimental to this country if this case did go through. I mean, Liberty, I'm sure you're correct. I concur with you on this. It probably already happened. And it's, I have a feeling that they went in Brunson's favor. Now they're just trying to peel that onion back because it is so in depth. There are so many people involved. I mean, there's like over 285 people in Congress alone that are involved, that are going to lose their jobs.
I said this would call for either 388 to 390 Congress members being removed. So this is huge. There's nothing more important in this country that we could be doing right at this very moment. And what an effort to unite the entire country. I can think of no topic and no call to action more important for this unity movement than to get this word out. Please, everyone, share an episode of this out today so people can see the process that they need to take to get these letters out. It costs you 2 stamps and a bucket if you want to donate. They're not asking for donations. That's optional.
Don't send a donation to the Supreme Court either. Send it to the Brunsons. Don't accept the envelopes.
Yeah, send it to the Brunsons, not the Supreme Court. Thank you, Stephanie.
Yeah, don't send it to the Supreme Court. They make enough money.
Right. So, along those lines, General McInerney was saying that, the fraud is rampant there, and that there were actually 333,000 entries in Georgia alone that were supposed to be for Mr. OZ. I'm sorry, for Mr. Herschel, the ex-football player. I don't want to say the whole name on purpose. That happened. So, this goes on and on and on in reference to that. And I don't want to get up in the whole contest and the details. We're all aware of what they are, and we don't want to take the chance of getting any strikes. But listen, this is the same thing that's going on in another country right now that starts with a B. And their military is taking action. We're seeing this kind of replicate all around the world. And the question is, are we now seeing America on that same bandwagon? Time will tell. Leading up to Christmas time, and we're going to get to this, what we were calling the December 22nd deadline that was sent by certain military. Oh, let me bring in a special guest. I'm sorry, hold on one moment. We have a special guest joining us.
Hey guys.
welcome to TV.
Hi, girlie.
Hey guys, sorry I'm on my phone. I got a really sick little one, so I want to.
Oh no, little one.
Oh, sorry,
but I can't be out in the she shack. So so sorry about the picture. That was actually a troll that Krista sent me from Canada. She made that for me, and I'm like, I don't have my cat picture, so there it is. That's my picture.
Okay, we'll take it.
Oh, it's adorable.
So anyhow, you guys have been talking. I've been listening in the background.
Cool.
Sorry, Tin, I just saw you backstage right now. We were breaking it down, girl. You know, we just talked about the letters that need to go to the Supreme Court, and now we're just talking about a couple of things that McInerney put out there. But you know, and the distraction of the whole drop of the Twitter files, and
I think you're right. I think you're right about the Twitter files, because even I got excited about it. But it's all old news. We're just excited that it's coming to the forefront.
Coming out, yes.
But yeah, we knew he should have paid his baby mama a couple of years ago.
Should have paid your baby mama, is what she said, in case you didn't know.
Yeah.
Paid your baby mama.
So I agree with you on that, Liberty Cowgirl.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we have lots of stuff going on in the background, and you know, that's what we try and update people on. We're just trying to search out things that, you know, aren't being highlighted that we feel that are important. And of course, nothing can be more important than getting these letters out. But what the generals have to say, you know, we zoomed in on this component of watching what the military was doing early on, and you know, as the months have gone by, you know, everything that we have talked about in the past, we're now starting to see in real time and actually come out to play in the mainstream media. But if you're keeping track of, you know, what's going on in the background with this military positioning that everyone is talking about, and the gentleman who tracks the flight information, the monkey guy, watching his reports, you have to match up some of these events with, you know, what we see going on in the background, and then you can really lend credibility to something. And you know, he had reported this week, just as a matter of point, that there were several helicopters unusually headed down into the Gitmo area, that he was an enormous amount, as if something was going on down there. Well, we know what's going on. We reported about what's going on. This is a standoff going on down there between the good military and the bad military. We talked about these letters that were sent by our Secretary of Defense, Mr. Austin, to these top military leaders down in Guantanamo Bay, i.e. General Berger and Admiral Crandall, who's running the tribunals down in Guantanamo Bay, accusing them of what they're doing, again, playing this mirror game that they play with one another, accusing them of exactly what they're guilty of. So, and there was a drop dead date given. We're going to stay focused on it. December 22nd. What's going to happen when these military generals do not comply by December 22nd? And this is big time stuff. So let's drop Twittergate and get everybody focused on what's going on in Twittergate. We all know that there's been censorship not only on Twitter, but across all the platforms, to include the one we're primarily initiating this broadcast from. So, you know, none of this is new to us, you know, and certainly coincides with, you know, a lot of what these good retired generals have been telling us. So, you know, that's what we have in that respect. And then in the background, let's just go to miscellaneous news, and I'll start it out here. But we have down in Florida, to distract us also, that Judge Eileen Cannon, she dismissed the case. Now, we had all of this to distract people, this raid on Mar-a-Lago down there, the filing of these documents for a special master, We can't forget about these stories. They're still out there. Because what's happened in the background while this is going on, set down in the Southern District of Florida, is Judge Eileen Cannon has dismissed the case, wherein she appointed a special master, Raymond Deary, on whether the prosecutors could access the evidence in the case. So now the DOJ has access to all the classified documents. An appeals court above her said that she had no authority to be involved in any DOJ investigation when there had actually been no charges brought yet. So, that's a lot of stuff going on back there. But the U.S. 11th Circuit Court of Appeals ruled that the special master appointment was unjustified for all the reasons I just named. So, do you hear any of that going on in the background?
No, they do not talk about Guantanamo Bay on mainstream ever, either. Never.
Nope.
Yeah, another thing going on there. They could look it up and see that it's 3 times bigger since 2016. But if you haven't done that, then you wouldn't know that. If you haven't known where those 2 big ships went over, I mean, we, like you said earlier, this is not Twittergate's not a lot of that's not a big surprise to us but Twitter is a mainstream channel, so I take that back. Twitter is pretty main. It was censored up the wazoo, and now it's like.
What people got to understand is that Twitter is a privately owned, government-operated platform.
Pogo.
They're Pogo.
Thank you, Stephanie.
And another thing is that we hear a lot of things about the Gitmo, what have you. It is against the law, the federal law, for any American citizen to be prosecuted and held there. Now, foreign people foreign players, they can, that's where they go. Anybody that is an American citizen, any player, any character of this whole debacle that is an American citizen needs to be held and tried in the continental United States. So you're hearing all about this Gitmo. What's going on in these other courts that are made for the citizens? We're hearing nothing about that. Nothing about that.
You're absolutely right.
And Twitter, I mean, I've been following Twitter a little bit, and I mean, yes, the news is old and everybody knows what's going on. But what we got to look at with this Twitter thing, and this is the most important thing in my honest opinion, is that shows the dynamics, and it shows who is involved and how deep it's involved. Podesta's daughter was in there. We had Baker in there. We had all kinds of people that used to be in the intel business with the government or their relatives. Okay. And when you're going to see is when all is said and done for, and everything is laid out, the players are laid out, and the dynamics are laid out, is that there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be they're going to be held accountable. The dynamics of it was the best part of it. How it's laid out, how they did it, back channeling, and the AI and how they did the algorithms and everything. It was it's just amazing and mind-blowing how intense and how technical this whole thing was. And it's been going on for years.
Decades.
Yeah.
It has, and to the point about Twitter, and that, and then it will move on to something else. But I just want to put this out there, again, logical thinking, knowing what we know. If anyone has not given consideration to the fact that Mr. Elon Musk is playing a role here, we need to strongly consider the fact that our own military probably owns Twitter, because there's lots of stories going on the back channels about funding, where he got the funding from to actually purchase Twitter. And it would make perfect sense to me that we're in wartime. Okay, this is a military tactic.
Fifth
And
generational.
that he was actually provided the funding from our military, and he is under their control. Our military is his handler. So I want people just to put that into their consciousness, because that's another thing that people aren't talking about.
Well, my husband would say he made all his money in PayPal. I could tell you right now, that's what my husband would say.
Okay, make no mistake, when all of this is said and done, and we have all these disclosures coming forth in the future, that do not be surprised to find out that the handler of Mr. Musk is our own military. They funded this, and this is part of this military operation in their efforts to regain control of our communications and to control the narrative in this information war that's part of this landscape. That's just my opinion. How do you ladies feel about that?
I totally agree with you. People, just because there's nothing flying around in the air and things are going boom. I mean, that's
right.
It's. I mean, we are so close to that right now. I've been listening to international news, and people, if you'll realize just how close we are right now. But this is what people don't understand, is that there's different types of war. You've got war that's fought in trenches. You've got war that's fought in the air. You've got war that's fought in the ground. What we are doing right now is you may not see it, but we are in a war right now. We are in a fifth generational psychological operation, a technical operation, and it is mind blowing. This war is a fifth generational war, and what they're attacking is our rights, and they are brainwashing us, and they are taking families and God and just values and our culture, and they are
And mocking
throwing
us.
it away. And that
and
is
they're
the
mocking
war
our
we're
God.
fighting right now. And they call it progress, or they
Right.
call it equality or equity, or they call it anti-fascism, or whatever they call it. What it is it is a psychological fifth generation war. So we may not see troops on the ground right now, but this is heavy stuff.
Let me just pause everybody right there, Stephanie, for a minute, because you just said two key words that in this broadcast I was going to warn people against using. Its programming. There are reports going on the back channels that they're putting out this narrative. And if you hear the word fifth generation, 5 this, 5 that, that's part of this counterintelligence programming that's going on. So I'm not even going to refer to anything in that respect, given this reports, because listen, we've been infiltrated. They're putting out these key things right now to try and continue this mind control and psyops.
Yes, this is
With
exactly
these
what
key
it
phrases.
is.
When this thing happened here at the nightclub, they all came out and started with this safe space stuff. And they get all these keywords out there for everybody to grab onto. Let's not grab onto them. That's all I wanted to say. Didn't mean to interrupt you, but
no problem.
that was actually, and I'll mark that off my list, one of the points that I wanted to make today. So it's funny that you said that.
Oh yeah, I mean, people. May I suggest watching anything that has to do with the place we're in right now, as far as how can I say it without getting busted? This is why I'm not doing videos on YouTube, because I got a big mouth. I can't figure it out. Just look up what generation we're in right now. We know the number, and see exactly being played. And once you see what's going on, it'll be so much. It'll click. Everybody's like, what's going on? Oh my gosh, everybody's against each other, and it's all part of the deal. go look up videos and go read about what generation we're in, and it's going to click so fast that you're going to understand, and you're going to realize what's going on.
I just found my note on this. They're saying it's DS programming. It's part of their programming operation. If you hear the word, the number 5, the letter G, and then warfare, or 5th generation, quote unquote, war. That's the new.
The algorithm will pick it up.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know that one. I knew about the Heinz 57. I didn't know about the multi-generational thing. Oh,
right.
This is for entertainment purposes only, by the way.
Let's move on to another big story that everyone was talking about this week, and that was all of the police activity that was in front of the White House this week. And I think then, like, the next day, everyone realized, and it was reported by Penguin 6, I believe, that it was nothing nefarious going on. It was actually mini motorcades with leaders from various African countries, about 30 to 40, that were here for a meeting over several days period. It was a summit, an African summit. And he said some of these heads of countries even flew into Andrews Air Force Base. Now, the reason why I find that, and I bring this story up because it's already old, is because that coincides with, again, we're putting things together, a press release that we received from the DOD, where Secretary of Defense Austin met with all of these leaders. So it's interesting, and it's very long, so I'm not going to read it all. But the point here is, these things and the timing of these things and the meetings with these people. Anybody our Secretary of Defense currently is meeting with is obviously compromised and going to be in opposition of what's really happening on the backside, because we know that he is compromised along with our chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. So this is why we follow these people on the daily. And they're the ones that just gave the people who are actually arresting people and in charge of the real operation, General Berger and Admiral Crandall, they're giving them all ultimatums to surrender by the 22nd. Not only to surrender, but to free all the prisoners down in Guantanamo Bay, stop any legal proceedings going on down there. It's crazy. And we're going to stay on the story because that's what's going on.
It's the bad guys giving the ultimatum to the good people defending our country, saying, yeah, and they're the ones that want to make sure you're all keeping this and this going on and all their, NWO stuff. No, thank you. And I don't buy Penguin 6. Actually, I even want to do a stream and show Nancy Drew walking back to back down to the Capitol and the White House and Penguin 6, because I did that last night. I watched her footage and then I watched his footage. And I'd love to just do a stream and play that because it looks so fake to me. He's in the fake press room. He's in the fake set White House that Biden prefers and they already admitted to being at. When you watch him walk through all that stuff, it's such bull crap. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying anything Penguin 6 says. I don't trust him. But we got to watch it all, right? You got to watch it all, report on it. It's a source, but I think I don't trust him. Do you, Stephanie? Or Tim? Penguin 6?
I don't trust Penguin 6 either. Libby, Cowgirl, I have a question for you, okay? You've got the finger on the pulse, obviously. You got such a finger on the pulse. It's insane. I love it. With the good guy, bad guy thing right now, where do you think it stands? I mean, are we right now with toe to toe? And it's kind of like it could go one way or another, or Is it leaning more towards the white versus the black, or the black? Where are we as far as this is concerned?
Right. Well, in short, because we're going to follow up on some of this stuff again. This is why we, from the onset, and just because I'm in that kind of environment, uh, why we've been for months covering these military generals, because uh, listen, we zoned in on things, and what Dee does is, I like to look at things where action can actually be taken
Yes.
into getting this resolved. The first place was that the American people taking charge and control of their local areas by serving affidavits and notices and putting school boards and city councils and committees, or whatever they're called from town to town, on notice that the people know you're corrupt and we're taking our towns back. That was one component of it for me. The other component of it was, okay, where are we at with all of the corrupt? We know that there's going to be no resolve in our law enforcement, our judiciary, and all of these agencies, in light of the fact that they've all been compromised. So we had to look beyond that. What did that mean? And I was fortunate enough to get onto with a group of people to study this law of war manual very early on, when people were not even considering it as an option. And this was way before devolution was ever even put out there by Patel Patriot.
Patel,
That's
yes.
wonderful, because
Yes,
all
it
of
is.
this does coincide with one another. So we zoned in, back to my point, we zoned in on this military component because we are in a cog situation. People can believe what they want, and I'm not trying to convince people how to believe. What we're doing is we're telling you what we have evidence of, what we see evidence of, and what the actions that are actually taking place in the American public, a different way to interpret those by looking through both scopes of what's happening. And so we know that the military is in charge. So that brings us to where we are at right now. Back to your question. The reason why we're going to stay on this 22nd date, because I'm not for giving out dates and saying there's a deadline of this, but there was a date given. And these documents are out there in the public by an ultimatum given to the white hats by the dark side. And I'm sorry if you haven't, and you're not viewing anyone out there as our Secretary of Defense, Mr. Austin, and our chairman, the Joint Chiefs of Staff, as the dark side, but they are, people. They are. This
Big
is a matter
time.
of
Big time.
other. And they've given an ultimatum, and we're going to stay on this date of ultimatum on the 22nd, because that's exactly where we're at. Who is going to come out, and is there an event that might take place that will take the light off of this ultimatum that's been given for the 22nd? Well, we're one channel that's not going to let the light go off that spotlight.
Absolutely, there's going to be an event. Take a look at the private chat.
Right.
You
right.
know?
Exactly. Now, getting back to, and these arrests that are taking place, people want to know about the arrests. And we've been covering the arrests of these not so known people, because we got to remember, America is identifiable with a Holly weirdo component right now. And they don't see these other people in the background that are actually in charge of things as identifiable. Okay,
Yes.
but there's very big people that we've been reporting on that are being arrested and fit in with these tribunals that are taking place down in Gitmo. We reported on a story and about I-25 being shut down here on the last show here in Colorado. What they made it seem like just an everyday average car accident and shutdown due to weather, but there was actually a story that came out on the backside that it was actually a black ops operation happening.
Yep.
And I want to follow up on that story, because people lost their lives with what happened with this leak on this operation for potential weapons that were being sent, again, trying to be sent to these so-called IRS agents that need to be armed. And at the time, we had reported last week that there were 4 casualties inside the back of that truck that our military shot, and 2 of our own Marines, when the doors opened on that semi truck, were also injured and wounded. And at that time, we reported that they were the deceased ones, military guys inside the truck, were wearing Army uniforms with an insignia on the side of the 4th Infantry Division here at Fort Carson, which is 5 minutes down the road. But at that time, I also put out a disclaimer that said, we don't know if they're actually real soldiers or not. They could be wearing uniforms for all we know as a disguise. These people have to be identified. So
Wouldn't be
we
the
don't
first
want
time.
to assume that they're soldiers that are deceased. Well, I have bad news, because we have a report now coming from General Berger's office confirming, and let me just read this word for word, confirming, being reported by Michael Baxter now, that persons killed by Marines were real U.S. Army soldiers from the 4th Infantry Division from Fort Carson. When all of this was taking place, the Marines went to a safe house by Vale, where they took everybody and everything so that they could have forensic dental work done on the deceased to confirm their identities, because that's something that's very common in the military. So that's confirmed. Now, here's the very, very concerning part. They then went to Major General David Hone, who was in charge and the commander in chief out at Fort Carson here, okay, for an explanation. And he denied any knowledge whatsoever of this entire incident happening and taking place. And the only comment that he would make, now hold on, because this is a mic drop moment, okay, that he is beholden to the one true commander in chief, Mr. Potato Head.
Potato Head.
What does that tell you?
No.
I hate Mr. Potato Head.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
wait a minute.
Okay,
No hate.
so-
No hate. I don't hate. I just dislike Mr. Potato
You
Head.
highly dislike Mr. Potato
Yeah,
Head.
because we don't want hate. We don't want to hate anything.
No hate. No
we
hate.
don't like it. We don't want to hate it.
We
Right?
love the truth, and he's a lie. That's why God hates lies. God hates a lying tongue. That's what it says in the Proverbs. God hates a lying tongue, but that's for him, and it's his vengeance.
So
And we'll
Judas-
Yeah.
Judas-
Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord, not
Amen.
ours.
So
Change
this
it
guy
up.
is basically putting Potato over his duty to uphold the Constitution of the
Country.
United States.
Right.
Mhm.
Now,
That's called treason.
let me just, yeah, exactly. Now, let me just paint you a picture. Let me just paint a picture for everybody here. Okay. So
Yeah.
we have the number one trusted force in this country, Cheyenne Mountain. Okay.
Is
Where
it
all
the
the
number
good
one?
guys are. Right here.
Okay.
Right here. Right here.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. You say so.
3 miles.
I
3
don't know where they
miles.
are.
And sitting right in front of him, it's
Okay.
Fort Carson, where this treasonous commander is running the base. 3 miles on the backside of him is our wonderful Space Force. Okay.
Oh.
Dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun.
Dun, 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 dun.
So you
Wrong.
see why we're so focused on this.
You're not
And-
crazy. She's not crazy, okay? It's what she's trying to say, because we talk on the phone sometimes and it's like, oh, there goes some more fighter jets. Oh, there goes more of this. So you wouldn't believe what happened last night. And our internet would mess up every time the first 2 months we tried to stream. I would believe that there's some hot spots. She's in one, I'm in one, Vegas is one.
I'm one. I'm in the belly of the beast, ladies. I don't know about y'all. I'm the belly of the
They're
beast.
in the middle.
Who's in Cheyenne? Is it all good in Cheyenne right now?
Yes,
She's right there.
listen,
Okay.
Liberty
that
Cowgirl.
place cannot
Good.
be penetrated, but it's the
Yeah.
logistics of this. And the point being is we have, and we've been reporting on it for months, a division inside of our military where they had to pick a lane. And this happened a while back.
Oh yeah. I heard
Now
about
we're
it.
at the flashpoint. We said the bad ones would start falling out when events started taking place. That is what has happened in these last few months.
Yeah.
Now we're waiting for the very top ones to come down. And we can see even locally here that we have enlisted people that have no choice. In addition to this, let's not forget about the new Supreme Court, another SCOTUS action, Supreme Court action, where because our Secretary of Defense and our Joint Chiefs of Staff wouldn't do anything about it, SCOTUS had to go and do something about it, and they passed the National Defense Authorization Act in the background while all of this is going to go on. Making doing away with the mandates for the jab for the people in the military. Now, let's keep in mind, and let me go to a statistic from General McInerney, that over 8,000 soldiers have been harmed already before this had to happen. So,
and Austin is fighting this. Austin has been fighting this SCOTUS decision.
Traitor, treason.
And that right there tells me everything I need to know about that man.
Yeah,
It sure does. He'd rather do other things. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm a military brat, okay, and it wasn't yes sir, yes ma'am to the people who were lower. It was hey soldier. It didn't matter what, who, where, why, when you came from. It was soldier.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You. Yes, exactly. And
now
it's
it's
always
Colonel
been that way. And how dare these people? And you know what I'm sorry for is the good military men that are underneath that cannot speak out. That's why it's so important that we broadcast this stuff and speak for people who cannot speak. Now, listen, this coincides with another report that the U.S. is preparing to send Patriot missiles more to Ukraine. And then, we have another retired military gentleman coming out saying, since 2015, why have over 500 retired generals and admirals received waivers to accept lucrative jobs once they retired, consulting agreements with the foreign governments.
Let me think about that for a couple years.
and they're accepting these contracts, these lucrative government contracts, from countries that are known for their human rights violations. Now, there's a whole story on this, and anybody who wants to look it up, go to the Washington Post. They did an investigation on this. The Washington Post, no less.
500 generals. 500 generals.
Yes,
retired. Take a look at, like I said earlier, take a look at who's been working the Twitter thing, and I can't remember who it was. There was a Republican senator that said once all this hoopla and all the dust settles on everything, that the House is probably going to be looking into a lot of these players who are consultants.
Yeah.
He
like
said
a
that
life
yesterday. They're going to be looking
into
a lot of the consultants.
Okay.
Right. So, I mean, again, all this Twittergate going on, we've got all these important things really happening on the backside that we all have to pay attention to. And this is why we tune into these. I think what we've seen is a lot of these retired generals are just as important as some of the active ones.
That's why we tune into you, Liberty Cowgirl. You rock.
Well, we know we're obsessed. We've been following them since the onset,
Oh yeah.
because we knew that it would.
Hey, wait a minute. What am I, chopped liver?
Not me. I don't. I just, yeah.
You know, chopped liver, the joke. Sorry.
You know about chopped liver?
10.
Just a lot
Idiot.
What's going on with all these tornadoes and so forth and all this?
Stephanie's actually been following a lot of stuff more than I have been lately because my granddaughter's just been really sick the last couple of days, and I've had to go to bed early to make sure that I'm there. I mean, the girl was freaking out. She woke up and was batting at stuff, and I'm like, oh no, and I know she didn't get the juber.
no.
Yeah, she didn't get the juber, but man, I pounced over top of her like, don't you worry, Grandma gonna make sure you're gonna be okay, because we're in a spiritual war right now.
Yes,
children can see things that we can't. And the demons are going to try to get at every one of us right now. So
get behind us, Satan. Get behind us.
Get behind us.
Oh,
yes.
Speaking of that,
not today, Satan.
Let Tin thank our sponsor, Liberty Cowgirl. What do you think about that?
Well,
should we let her thank the sponsor for us?
Yes, Tin TV. We have the same sponsor you have. Can you thank him?
Yes.
I'd like to take a moment to thank the sponsor of this channel, God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. Thank you, Father, for bringing us together on a lovely Wednesday afternoon to lift each other up and share some news, but to lift each other up and to protect each other and not to have fear, God, because that's what you don't want us to have, is any fear. Please protect our children, our churches, and our Bibles. But most of all, Father, please protect each and every one of us here from those that want to hurt us emotionally, physically, intellectually, and spiritually. As it is said in Jesus' name, it will be done.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for that. Well, also, listen, we're talking about this December 22nd date and this standoff with the, good and the bad military. We'll refer to them like that. But, something else interesting that's going to happen the day before that. And this is what we kind of watch out for. What other events are coinciding with some of these major events? On the 21st, with regard
Winter
to the
solstice.
southern border and immigration in general, Title 42 expires. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be bad.
With the immigration is the day before this ultimatum. This title allows us to turn back anybody, okay, that we want to not cross our border. Once this goes away, it's a free-for-all.
Oh, was this BO's way of dealing with that one thing that we tried to deal with? What were they calling that? Dreamers? Was this the Dreamers thing?
Right.
Was that just later?
That's just a group that they put out there to camouflage what
there
the real
was an
operations are going on down there at the border.
Yeah. But he put off an act, and so I just thought maybe that was part of it. So yeah, sorry, I don't know.
Yeah. So
have we been turning anybody back in the past 2 years? I don't see it.
No, we've been busing them to this representative and not representative, and they've been making a joke of it, of people, of human beings,
so
by sending them and shit.
If Title 42 goes down, what difference is it going to make? Because we're not turning them back anyway.
Well, exactly. And
but we're not birthing enough Americans, though, you guys. Our population's gone down.
Americans aren't doing
like I know this. It's like there's this balance of things, and I know we don't necessarily want them all coming over. We want you to come over, but come legally. Be a legal refugee.
Don't be murderers.
Well, there is an agenda with all this happening.
Yep.
And we are looking at the number 100 million. After 100 million, they're just going to put their hands up in the air and say, screw it. This is going to be region number 3. It's going to consist of Canada, United States, and South America. That is the main goal. That goal is going to hit when there is 100 million in this country. Now there's 330 million people here now. Okay? There's 330 million people here now. Another 100 million, and it's going to be totally lost. Now, what I've been told, because of what's happening on the 21st, which happens to be a winter solstice, which is really, really high power in these circles of these meanie people, ugly meanie people. The first day of darkness. Hello. Yeah. I heard there's a lot of patriots that are going to be standing shoulder to shoulder. So, heads up, people. Just,
every day's a battle like that to me. Every day's a battle like that. No day that ain't a battle like that. Every day you got to get on your knees and ask God to help you get through the day. And if you want to really serve him, I dare you to ask him to use you. Look out. He is faithful.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. What do you think is going to happen with Liberty Cowgirl? What's going to happen?
Yeah, we can see we're in the eye of the storm now, and there is word, with one last report on the military component here, that there was a meeting with the generals, which included the Chinese and the Russian alliance, and that this supposedly took place at Cheyenne Mountain, and as far as, what is the next moves in this phase. And I guess their main talking point was about funding, but evidently Russia, China, India, and South America knows that the Space Force's Guardian military intelligence agency will come into complete control of the world powers upon the collapse of the deep state. And again, we're moving forward. So, people are real impressed with what Elon Musk has to offer. They don't, according to this report, Elon Musk doesn't have anything compared to what the United States Space Force have.
He's got Starlink. That's the only thing keeping him alive right now. You know that.
Yeah, they're going to declassify some of this stuff that they have. And of course, we're seeing the beginnings of it because the Air Force just unveiled its newest stealth bomber in 30 years, the B-21 Raider. So,
oh, really?
It's beautiful.
That's it. I want to see it.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So,
that's
well,
exciting.
What I've been hearing on mainstream is that India was taking pot shots at Russia, and India, Russia, China, South America. They're all bricks. They're all bricks.
I saw a video of China and India clash on YouTube.
Yeah, India took the pot.
They were scrapping each other like this.
India took the pot shot. India poked the bear.
And then there was how many people? It was a couple hundred people on each side, and then one retreated back, and they were like, "Yeah!" And I'm like, "Wow, that was so old school."
Such an old they went all school on it. Yeah,
scrap. It's kind of wild.
Listen,
very
real
true,
quick.
Nina. Very true, Nina. All this evil
Let's
will never end until Christ returns.
Move on to this other big story that they're trying to consume everybody with. Flashing his crazy hair all over TV. This CEO of FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried. Okay, people, can we? Does anybody notice Bankman-Fried?
I want to let everybody know that SBF did not kill himself next Saturday.
Right. That's what they're saying is going to happen. That's a report.
Damn Bankman
we're going to hear about this guy, but he's being charged with wire fraud, security fraud, conspiracy, money laundering, and evidently the indictment was initially sealed down in the Bahamas. Now, what people don't understand from a legal standpoint, they can play out and they're going to consume everybody with all these media clips on TV and outtakes. This extradition could take weeks and weeks and weeks.
Well, you do know that he was supposed to appear in court today.
Just that. But what is happening over here in the United States is the SEC has initiated a separate set of charges relating to violation of securities laws, and it's going to be decided in, get this, the Southern District of New York. So you can see how they're positioning all of this stuff.
Sorry.
So,
Didn't they just
gotta mute
burn
my
up an
mic. Hang on a
evidence
second.
locker? Didn't they just burn up a bunch of stuff at an evidence thing in New York? I don't know.
right, exactly. They're going to burn all this evidence and, what's going on. And,
Well, this whole
again, all
arrest
of
was
this
done on purpose.
stuff going on in the background. Do we want to quickly get out, talk about some arrests?
Yes.
Sure. Yeah, we love those. Those are my
We love
favorite.
these arrests.
Of course, everybody wants to hear about those.
There's 2 guys that have been arrested, but first let's follow up on somebody we talked about last week. And I know Cowgirl DU covered this on yours, but we had put out on our last broadcast, right after Thanksgiving Day, that Miguel Cardona, who's the education secretary, was arrested on Thanksgiving Day along with his wife.
Yeah, they
finally got him. Good.
Why did they just resurface that story though? Why did that just
right? Well, and here's what happened. Here's a follow-up. He's already been tried. It's a done deal. He wasn't as involved, which I completely disagree with, and so does I think Admiral Crandall, from a legal standpoint, but there were some legalities that forced him into this. But long story short, the guy only got 20 years in Gitmo, but they're saying because of his age and so forth that he'll probably die there, so it really doesn't matter. But again, this, because he sent all the letters to all of those states that I told you about, encouraging them to push hormone blockers, I can't even say it, gender reassignment surgery, and how you can hide this from your parents and talk about how it's a new normal. There's been justice. So I want this needs to come out in the general public, because meanwhile, while that's happening and it's a done deal, you guys are there in real time, in real life, fighting off tranny shows to children in your neighborhood.
And slander and defamation that they're using the Human Rights Commission through. So I noticed when you said how those generals were consultants to a lot of country with human rights violations, it really piqued my connected another dot. Like, wow, they really, because Elon also got rid of his human rights team, didn't he, at Twitter? And they just hide behind this crap. They just hide behind it. They're not really helping human rights at all.
Yeah, true,
right?
True.
So
that one fit,
what they did was the safety commission on the on the Twitter. Yeah, those guys. But you know who was running these people? This guy named Yoel. And Yoel, take a look at his. Well, if you can find it, because it's been scrubbed. Take a look at his dissertation on how children should be able to go onto Tinder whenever they want to.
Disgusting. It's just disgusting.
Don't care.
What's going on? POS. So, for the last arrest we have, a guy was taken into custody on his morning walk in the Wesley Heights section of Washington, D.C. He was previously the deputy director for management and budget, but his current role was Potato Head's C19 response coordinator. He's the one that took over after the lady, Dr. Burks, the lady with the scarves.
Oh, yeah. What's her deal with
your face shields all pretty? That girl?
I want to find out what she's hiding behind all those scarves one day. If anybody knows, I really want to know.
Well, I
Here's a
think she was
tracheotomy
taken into
scar.
custody quite some time ago. I'll have to
haven't
go
seen
back
her in a while.
and look at that, but I think she was taken into custody quite some time ago. But there you have it. Around the world in 80 seconds.
One more. We also, don't forget my favorite one, Stephanie. Who's your favorite arrest this week? Come on.
My
Bald, freaky freak thief.
oh
The nuclear waste specialist.
Yeah.
He's so inclusive that he feels that, because he's a transgender person, he can just like walk off with your expensive your Gucci bags,
Okay, wait a minute. Somebody has got to put up a picture. I want this arrest to be seen. And then
Okay,
we
All
can
right.
all feel
I'll get
good.
it.
As we end this broadcast, we can all
I
feel
got a
good.
picture of it.
Please make sure to get him with
See
the
who gets him
matching
first.
shade of lipsticks, that one stuff.
Okay, no problem. What do I look at your fucking secretary?
He's really good
Hang
at matching his
on.
lipstick with his outfits. I commend him on
Right.
his shades though, because man, I could never match it.
Okay.
He is almost as fun as Zelensky. I swear to God.
Oh,
The
I
man
know.
of the year. You know about that?
Hey, I'm gonna come in on the link.
That video
I'll be right
was,
back.
my husband couldn't even
Awesome.
watch it. He wouldn't even watch it. I was like,
Okay,
babe, look at this.
Okay, well,
looking
don't
things up
play the
right now.
video. Just show his picture. So, I mean, the
I'm
picture
trying to-
speaks for
You
itself.
got one, Stephanie?
These are the people who are heading our organization.
What do I got? What did you guys want?
Of Sam? I'm looking in my photos of Sam, the freaky freak that was arrested, the suitcase thief. Do you have a picture of him? I'm looking through my
I'm
photos.
pulling it up right now.
Okay, thanks. Because I am not finding mine, and I know I took a few.
Let me get 10 bagged.
I thought I did.
Okay, sorry guys. Now I'm in.
Okay, hang on.
Welcome
I
back,
think
Jen.
I got his mugshot.
Oh, no way.
I got his mugshot.
I haven't seen that
You
one
ready?
yet. Yes.
I got his mugshot. Hang on. Awesome. Okay, let's see. Present. Share screen. Share screen. Tab. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Sam Brinton.
Full screen. You can put her on full screen if you want to.
I'm trying.
Maybe
I'm looking. Oh, wait. I can do this. Watch.
No, I was telling Liberty, if you want to put her on full screen, Liberty, you can go in her picture and put those three dots
that
up.
lipstick has got
no, it's the other
sparklies
side.
in it. Look at that
Oh,
lipstick.
yeah, let's see the lipstick.
Hold up.
There we go. Oh,
It's not
man,
the three
the
dots.
glitter in the
Something else.
beard.
I think I got a little delay. It's coming. Oh, I have to add. Here it is,
He no
America.
look so happy. He no look so happy in that mug shot at all.
Look at those
Let's
eyebrows.
trust this guy with our finances. He's in charge of his previous role. I mean, the fact that the people that they parade in front of the American public as people that are controlling our lives, and when we see who they are, I think we're all telling ourselves going, I don't think so.
Ew, he needs to brush his teeth. Look at that. Ew. So, Potato, how's that diversity hire working out for you?
Right.
50,000 bail. He must be out.
Does he get a
50,000
special
bail.
little cell? Ask him for a
You know he does.
Did he what?
Does he get a special
He
cell?
will be rewarded. She said a
with
special
Bubba.
cell.
With Bubba.
Oh, yeah, that
Right.
was fun. Thank you
Just
for
ask
that.
him for a friend.
That was good stuff, Steph. Thank you.
Right. Thank you. Yeah,
Liberty.
so,
that was a lot of information. My head
it speaks for itself. It's
Yep,
crazy.
it does. It really,
Do you
all
guys
of
want
it
to
does.
see the man of the
The
year
men
again?
people, I don't know. Don't play no music.
Yeah, keep the
Hi,
no,
Lisa.
that sucks that you can't even.
Play the music. Well, he
I
was
don't
dancing to Single Ladies.
Oh, we showed it the other night on the stream. We just didn't
Yeah,
have
it's
this
on your-
Mm-hmm.
Men don't
But-
want to see it, actually, Stephanie. Men don't really want to see it. I can tell you right now. husband would not watch. I'm like, look at this. He's like, no. Like, check this part out. He's no.
That's the Pride tribe. Come on, like they're showing their
moves. They don't want to see it.
I want to try and lead this to an hour and 30 minutes. So we're coming up on that right now. I want to just go around and get final thoughts from everybody on what do you think about the current situation in general, or anything that you might want to bring to the attention of anyone today, and also give your channel information out. Miss Tin TV, we'll start with you.
I think we need to prep the food, because if the farmers in Holland, they're getting run out of their land. We know that Billy Goats has been buying it up, especially in my state. So start prepping for food and fuel, and start thinking like a pioneer again. Start thinking like our forefathers, and try to eliminate electricity. Try to test yourself for a day. How much can you go without electricity? Literally, can you do other things other ways? You got to get honed up on your skills. Yeah, and get your chonies in your socks. It's going to be a dark winter, just saying.
Okay. That's true.
Yay.
Bravo. Stephanie?
I'm going to build up on 10, only I'm going to say keep your powder dry.
Yep.
If you are in a position and in a spot geographically, you may want to think about going somewhere with like-minded people. Get your people together. As far as food is concerned, stack it to the rafters. Buy your seeds right now. Don't wait. Do not wait. Another thing is get your house together. Get right with God. There's going to be a lot of things coming up that is going to scare the holy shit out of everybody. Yeah. Stay calm. Stay calm. Don't panic. Keep a cool head.
Drink tea instead of coffee, maybe for a while when all that starts coming out.
What we're doing in my house right now is and now would be a good time, seeing as there's a couple dates out there that are coming around, and watch Texas News Studio too, also, because he's putting out some information that just blow your mind, and he's got the deets to back it up. Just be ready, guys. Get right with God. Have a good holiday season. I have no filter whatsoever. I drop the F-bomb all the time. I don't give a crap about it.
Very good today.
I'm trying though. I really am. I'm trying.
Well, let's chart real hard while we're in the Liberty Lounge.
I know. I'm trying. I really am. I'm sorry.
Well, we're going to keep all that in mind, and hopefully, Stephanie, you and Tin can continue to join us. We're going to try to get together a Liberty Lounge for later this week. And,
I told her what the topic was.
I'm trying to get on to. What I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to get on. Get a lot more subscribers onto Rumble. It's Stephanie Kerr, one word, Stephanie Kerr. And as soon as I get enough people up, I'm going to have, 10 come on. I'm going to have, Liberty, Cowgirl. You're going to be more than welcome. And G, you're going to be more than welcome to come on. And what my main goal is to try to hook everybody up on this side with everybody up that I know on that side. And get everybody together.
It. Stephanie, we're going to have Stephanie Kerr Unplugged, people.
Their show's name is going to be called Off the Hook.
Off the hook. Kerr, off the hook.
I love it. So we can cuss and swear and drop as many words and letters as we want. And please support you guys. Please support Liberty and Dee and Tin. Please, you guys. These ladies are amazing.
Thank you.
Get right with God. Get ready. It's coming.
He's coming.
Yes, ma'am. Cowgirl D, what are your final thoughts? And then I know you're going to bring us into prayer for closing for some very special people.
That's it. That's all my final thoughts is I'm going to be about this letter that I'm sending off. That's our most important task right now that Stephanie already did. But anyway, if you didn't miss that part of the show, please watch the beginning of it. I'm definitely going to put this up on Stand Up Humble as a PDF too. Make it real easy for people to just print that out. So that's my final thought. And I do have a lot of people on my heart and mind right now in our community that are really hurting. And so, you want me to say prayer now, or are you going to do your final
we're
thought?
closing it out. I want to leave it at an hour 30.
Final thought, though?
No,
No?
put your final thought first,
Okay.
ma'am.
No,
Of
my
course.
final thought was just do your part for the Supreme Court for the 2020. This is a real easy, basic task to do. That is my final thought. And then I want to lift up a few people as we close. Yeah. You ready for that?
Do it.
Let's
do
get it. What I
So-
want to before you do that, and I'll give a long thank you to everybody who's coming tonight. Shift Kicker, ER, Camo, Jen, everybody out there. We see you. We thank you very much for supporting us. Jerry Lee, if I missed your name, just know we're grateful. And you want to tune in and keep an eye out for notifications for a Liberty Lounge, potentially before the end of the week. Follow us at Liberty Cowgirl on Getter to see our shows, and Liberty Cowgirl Nation now live streaming on Rumble. Tonight was the first live Rumble show. Thank you to anybody over on Rumble watching the show tonight. And of course, thank you to all you beautiful ladies for taking time out of your afternoon to come over here to the Liberty Cowgirl Network platform to share your thoughts, but more importantly, your presence. I'm so grateful to have you. Welcome any day, anytime.
Oh, we got the tin cat. We got the tinfoil hat cat emoji right on time, right there. I love it.
All right.
Right on. Yeah.
Now, Cowgirl, you can close out the show with some special prayer.
You got it. I'm super thankful. If anybody here can drop the link, we're going to be lifting up Lisa Anderson with a few other people too. She just let me know that her house got flooded last night. Some of us know that Travis has been over there, I guess, working on her siding, volunteering, which is awesome. And so just want to give a praise report about that. And also, if anyone has her Venmo, if not, I'll drop it after the show. So also, just want to start the prayer and just, Lord, I do thank you for all these ladies that are here, for this supportive chat of people that are just so good to us and so good to you. They want the truth, Lord. And that's all we want, to be around people that want the truth and reject lies. And thank you for this room of people that are into it. I pray for our friends. Mama T's husband, Eddie, is in ICU. And he's in a bad way, Lord. And I pray you help heal him and help comfort our friend. And also lift up Bonnie, who's been sick for a long time. Pray that you heal her and help her come back. We want to hear her laughing again. I pray for Wyatt, Chuck's son. God, that they would be able to hear about healing too for him. And Lord, a lot of us in the YouTube community know there's been a terrible loss with Will Bird. He lost his mama. And God, Sage did a video for him. And we just lift him up and his family, him and Mariah. And I just pray for all of us who have had people in this community, that we would learn to come together in peace and unity, and that we would lift each other up and love each other now. Because we need you now, God. In your name, in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Cowgirl D. And we want everyone to tune in to the best West Coast late night variety show, 10 TV. We love it. Love you, 10. Love you, Stephanie. Love Krista Craft and Agent J. You guys are awesome. We're looking forward to seeing you tonight and the rest of the week. And everybody watch out for the Liberty Lounge. We'll see you on the next one, everyone. Thank you for coming.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Love y'all.